This is a Spotlight on Community Resource, and my guest this evening is Miss Laura Carr, Director of Development at the Lexington Rescue Mission. Did I get all that out right?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Well, now tell me, Lexington Rescue Mission has been around here for a while.
For 15 years. My dad, Jim Connell, he's our founder and executive director, and he moved here 15 years ago to found the mission in Lexington.
So tell me what you do. What is your mission?
Sure. So we work with people who are struggling with poverty and homelessness in Lexington, and we try to meet their physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. So physical needs, everything from food and clothing, transportation, medical care, rent and utility assistance, trying to keep people in their homes. And then our goal is when people come for that kind of help, that we can build relationships with people and earn their trust enough to be able to minister to the deeper parts of their life and really help them address the things that are keeping them from living into their potential. So in some cases that might mean that we're helping them with job training and placing them into work. In other cases we're providing them temporary housing while we work with them on a plan to get permanent housing. In a lot of cases, we're just providing counseling, pastoral counseling, as well as guidance and support for people who are just struggling.
You have volunteer staff, you have paid staff?
Yes.
Tell me about the organization itself.
Sure. Well, our main office is located off of Georgetown Street on Glenarvan Avenue, and that's where our outreach center is. So that's where most of our services are and most of our staff. And so we have about 20 staff people, and all that sounds like a ton. Only about half of them are actually full-time staff. Some are very part-time. And then we have hundreds of volunteers that really carry out so much of the ministry of the mission and what we do day to day. We serve more than 42,000 meals in a year. So as you can imagine, that's a lot of food that we have to prepare and serve and plan for in order to meet that basic need of hunger. And then we have a professional social worker on staff who then works with people to try to help them with all the other things in their life to try to get them back on track. And then we have staff that helps with providing job training through Jobs for Life, which is our job training curriculum. And we actually have a staffing service called Advanced Lexington, where we partner with local employers and they can hire our folks to come and work for them temporarily while we work on getting them permanent work.
Well, how are you eligible for services? Is there, you have to qualify, or you have to call a number? Tell me how.
No, you just show up at our door and we'll take you in, no questions asked. So the exception to that is we do have a house for men, a transitional house called the Potter's House. We only have 14 beds, so there is an application process to be able to get into there because there's a long waiting list for beds. But we, in every other service, people just come in. We don't ask them. They don't have to show income, to be eligible for our services. That we just try to welcome everyone who comes.
Well, if people want to help, is there a way they can?
Yeah.
Is there a way that they can volunteer or money? Tell me about that.
Sure. Well, our website is lexingtonrescue.org, and that's a great place to go for some basic information on volunteer opportunities because we have lots of ways that people can volunteer. A couple of key ways that a lot of people are interested in helping to serve meals. We serve lunches most days of the week, so if people have that time in their day free, they can come serve lunch. We also have opportunities for volunteer medical professionals to come and help with our clinic. We need volunteers to help be hospitality volunteers, make people feel welcome, people to help mentor our guests, our residents, and people to help teach our life skills classes. So those are some common ways that people plug in, but what we love to do is just talk with you over the phone and find out what your interests are and have you come in for a tour.
And the volunteers may find out they get blessed and get as much back from it as the people that they're serving.
Yeah, I mean, that's a common refrain is a lot of our volunteers come because they feel like they want to give back, but in the end, they end up just being so blessed by being able to serve. And a lot of people want to volunteer, but their work schedule might prohibit them from doing that, or maybe they're in school and they just don't have time. So the other thing that we always need is money. We can't do all these services without money. So the other way to get involved is you can give, and you can either give online or you can send a check. But no matter how you give, it only takes us $1.96 to pay for a meal. So it doesn't take much. We can do a lot with little.
Well, great information, a great organization.